Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. Today is May 19th, 2025, and this is episode 226 of the Music Mondays podcast. Hope you're well, hope you're chilling. How's the week, my friends? How's the week? Been quite a week, actually. I had a pretty good weekend. Actually, I was thinking yesterday, I don't even think I had any caffeine, so that's probably why I felt like a little bit weird today, for sure. It was very interesting. But, yeah, man, we're good. Today's Monday. A little bit of like a rainy, kind of like gloomy day out over here on the East Coast, but we're chilling. We're vibing. So, you guys know the drill, man. Let's get into it. A couple things to go over. We're going to go over some weekly recap jazz. We're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We are going to talk about recruiting, SoundCloud, all that good jazz. And then we have a little bit of a discussion segment here this week. that I think is actually pretty beneficial. I think it's pretty beneficial. Something that I've been thinking about for quite some time, but regardless, let's get into it, my friends. So, let's talk weekly recap. What did you miss at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so? Let's see. So, per usual, Music Money's basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges, $20 flat shipping across the states. So again, send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email if you're interested in purchasing one of those. You'll be seeing some promo go up over the summer for the leftover inventory of the basic logo t-shirts. Following that, every single Tuesday on the Music Mondays Patreon, the full quality episode of the show goes live for the previous day. So if you're looking to download the Music Mondays podcast, you want to go record it in high quality, you want to just get early access to it, or you just really want to watch it on Patreon, anything like that, those are available every single Tuesday on our Patreon. So definitely go check those out and go show it some love, and huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patreon. Let's get it, baby. We got Jacob at the chat. Hope you're well, my friend. Welcome on in. Good to see you live. Welcome. Hope you're well. Happy Monday, my friend. Let's get it, baby. Let's see here. So, following that, heading into Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. So again, keep that in mind. Make sure you follow us on socials and stay up to date with all of our SoundCloud and playlist submissions and podcast submissions and all that good jazz. But again, per usual, every single Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open. And then, of course, heading into Wednesday even deeper, we also do some audio podcast promo for the following day. So again, Wednesday is pretty stacked, and make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date. Let's see here. So that was Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, episode 225 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on all audio platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good jazz. So definitely go check that out. That does drop every single Thursday if you miss the live show. And then heading into Thursday even deeper, a brand new YouTube upload is available right now on our channel where we discuss YouTube exclusives and kind of breaking down curating for those and really talking about the Music Mondays YouTube channel in general. So if you missed that segment last week, that is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So definitely go check that out and go show out some love per usual. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers, and we upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. All right. So, let's see here. Outside of that, that was Thursday. Heading into Friday, a brand new article is available right now on the Music Mondays homepage. That is, once again, by your boy. I've been going crazy with the writing. Recently, I sat down and did an interview with the homie Onwuka, who's a frequenter of the Music Mondays podcast and Music Mondays in general. So definitely go check that out and go show Onwuka some love. That's a W read, for sure. That was Friday. Okay. So, heading into Saturday, episode 225 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. That does drop over there every single Saturday. So again, if you missed the live show or you prefer to just go watch the show on YouTube, definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. That drops every single Saturday. Heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 187 is available right now on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. That was curated by me, and that was had art by the homie 60. 60's actually been going really, really stupid with the art, so huge shout out to 60, and huge shout out to everybody that's been submitting to SoundCloud Sunday, man. That's a Music Mondays staple right there. Again, per usual, submissions do open every single Wednesday, so make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date when those submissions do go live. Alright, so let's see here. That was Sunday, and then that takes us into today, Monday, May 19th, episode 226 of the Music Mondays podcast. Let's get it, baby. So, that's pretty much everything major you missed over the last week or so, but again, make sure you follow us on socials, stay up to date for any emergency announcements or any secret drops or anything like that. Definitely do that. Let's see here. So, alright. What's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? So let's talk. We are hot on the heels of planning our next event. Like I said last week, we've been really trying to discuss, you know, how we're really going to plan this next event. That's going to be something that I think is super, super important. But again, still ironing out some details with the staff and still getting some resources ready and things like that. So obviously you guys will be the first to know once we get a little bit more deeper into planning and whatnot. But like I said, we're going to try to have that finished by the end of the month, and then head into June, July with our next event and kind of break down things and see if we can really hunker down on this and have it for a like June, July-ish release. So again, we're working on our first events. So, well, not first event, but our next summer event. And like I said, this is definitely going to be something that's a little bit more different. It's going to be the first time that we do something like this. So again, I want to make sure that it goes well. So again, we're deep in planning for our next summer event for sure. Then of course, following that, we're going to be planning Cyberfest 3, Here in Case of the Mondays, Volume 3, a whole lot of other good jazz. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. But that's like a lot of the major stuff that we have going on right now. And then of course, the Music Money's merch update, that'll be coming out relatively soon. Again, it'll just be kind of like a lookbook style post of everybody's shots in the Music Money's merch. So that'll be something that I think is really, really really solid. I'm excited for that. And then again, pretty much everything will be staying the same. Submissions, podcast stuff, obviously we'll be live here every Monday. Articles every Friday. A lot of your monthly and weekly content will stay the same per usual. But that's pretty much everything like super major. So again, the summer event is kind of like a big deal. So that's kind of like the next thing on our plates for sure. So make sure you tune into the show. Make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date with any important announcements regarding future events. So that's what's coming over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting. So per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for all of our Music Monday staff roles. We're on the hunt for journalists, writers, curators, designers. You want to do short form media, you want to do long form media, anything like that. We're on the hunt for all of our Music Monday staff roles. We're looking to add at least 3 or 4 more new people. So again, send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Again, resume preferred, but not required. If you're a creative or you're an artist who is kind of new to independent underground media, we're definitely willing to show you the ropes and teach you a few things when it comes to the Music Monday staff. So again, definitely send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Then of course, we do have a Music Mondays role guide on the Music Mondays YouTube channel where I kind of broke down each staff role for 2025. So definitely go check that out. Go show that some love if you're kind of interested in what each Music Monday staff role does, what your content's like, what the schedule's like, things like that. That's where I kind of break that down in a little bit more detail. Let's see here. So, outside of that, recruiting, let's talk SoundCloud. So again, we are on the hunt for unreleased SoundCloud tracks. So if you have any unreleased SoundCloud tracks that you like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Monday SoundCloud and across all of our socials for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Again, we're only interested in unreleased content, so feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. You want to go put it on all distros, you want to go do a music video for it, that's fine. But again, we're only interested in the unreleased SoundCloud version. Same goes for YouTube as well. We spoke a little bit about that in greater detail last week. But again, if you have an unreleased music video, AMV, lyric video, or even if you just want some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Again, we'd be happy to have that conversation and set that up for you. And of course, hosted and promoted across all of our socials for completely free. So definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. So, all right. Let's see here. We did recap stuff. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We spoke recruiting. We spoke SoundCloud exclusives. I think we're good. Yeah, that's pretty much all the regular stuff that I had to catch you guys up on. But let's see here. Outside of that, I think it's time for our discussion segments. So it's been a couple weeks since we've had a little bit of a chat. And this week's topic, I think, will be very, very interesting. So, a couple of weeks ago, I think I was just scrolling socials. I was getting posts ready or something like that. I was getting drops ready. And the thought came across my mind of hobbies outside of music, right? And I'm sure everybody has hobbies outside of music. But what I mean by that is, like, how many artists have other hobbies outside of creating music full time, right? Like if making music is like your bread and butter and your number one, do you have something else outside of music that you go to that is somewhat creative or you get inspired by, right? So I'm talking movies, I'm talking media, I'm talking photography, I'm talking video games, I'm talking nature walks, I'm talking going outside, I'm talking sports, you know what I mean? I'm talking things like that. And it occurred to me how well some artists kind of incorporate what they like into their music, right? Because obviously, like, music is number one. That's your number one priority. That's everything for you. But a lot of artists have hobbies outside of that, right? Like, a lot of artists enjoy movies. A lot of artists do photography. A lot of artists kind of are into sports, right? I think wrestling is another big one too. Um, Things like that. So it kind of occurred to me that, like, I noticed that the artists that have like passionate hobbies outside of music kind of turn around and put it right back in their music, right? There's a couple artists that kind of come to mind that do things outside of music that I think really benefit their music as a whole, right? So if you're out here kind of, say you start a podcast, right, for sports, right? And, you kind of do that on the side. You're creating content for that, but then in turn, it kind of helps your music as well because you're kind of bringing over sports fans into your music life as well, and they kind of work with each other, right? And they kind of feed into each other, and that's kind of like what happened here on Twitch for me. I think I'm somewhat of a very interesting example here, right? Because when I started streaming on Twitch, it wasn't like I wanted to, just start streaming, right? Like, I'm pretty sure we were just sitting in the Discord in like 2019, 2020, and we'd be sitting there like just for hours, like recording, sending shit back and forth, sending each other beats, whatever. And I would just turn on Skate 3 in the background, and then like I'd want to like show my friends clips, and like this is before like screen sharing in Discord was a thing. So this is where I kind of was like, all right, fuck it, like I'll throw up a Twitch stream. And then I started streaming, and all the homies would just come in there, and we'd all, make jokes and just shoot the shit, whatever. And that's kind of like how I ended up streaming, right? But then again, when I wasn't doing that, I kept streaming, right? So I got into streaming things that I had always played, right? So like COD Zombies was something that like I grew up on, like, since I was a teenager. So that was like a no-brainer for me. And when I started playing zombies, that's when I started to get like a decent following on Twitch. And that's where I was like, okay, like this is pretty interesting. Like I kind of see the vision here, but it's not like I was out here like actively promoting my music. Like every once in a while I'd promote the music and things like that. But the amount of people that came in from like say the zombies community or just like any gaming community, and they kind of were like, oh shit, you make music, no way, and da da da. So it kind of cross pollinates, right? Because if you're not like actively promoting it in places that it normally wouldn't be, I think it makes people a little bit more curious, because they check your bio, and then they're like, oh shit, they make music, and they click the link and da da da. And that's how I found that like that cross pollination kind of process really helps. And I noticed that artists are really doing that a lot, right? Again, sport is a big one, wrestling is a big one. Um, Even any kind of like movies or media, TV shows, I think that's a really big one. So those sorts of things are like super super important for artists to kind of bring your music to places that it wouldn't be otherwise. You know what I mean? So super super important shit. Sam's raps in the chat. Let's get it, baby. No stream today, so oh yeah, no worries, homie, no worries. So I'm here making some pulled pork. Let's fucking get it. Let's fucking get it. Love that. Yeah, no worries at all, homie. No worries. Um, but yeah, that's one thing that I thought of, and again, obviously, making music is like number one, right? That's like the bread and butter. That's what you want to be doing 24/7. But if you do have other hobbies like outside of music, I think it's worth kind of cross pollinating and um, kind of creating content for that too, right? Especially gaming. I think gaming and music mix really well unintentionally. So I feel like that's another like really really important thing, and I just encourage artists to go out and like try to mix their hobbies a little bit. Like again, sports, media, movies, TV shows. Do what you can to you know get into those kind of communities, and then people become curious of who you are as a creator, right? And then they're like, oh my god, you make beats. Oh, you make music. Oh, you play guitar, whatever. And then at the same time, you know, you're really kind of broadening what kind of people have access to you, right? It becomes a lot more easier to kind of relate to you, because they're like, oh, I like him for this. Oh, he makes music. Oh, but he does sports stuff too. So you're really kind of mixing those communities, and I think that's like a super, super important part of this. And it really only benefits everybody. So again, just keep that in mind, and don't be afraid to like pursue other hobbies while you're um, taking the music career path, right? I think obviously, like I said, music being full time is super important, but it's really good to get inspired by other shit as well. So you can go back and kind of like put that shit right back into your music, you know? So I think that's super, super important. And I see a lot of artists do it more and more now, you know what I mean? There's quite a few that come to mind, but you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's definitely worth pursuing your other interests and kind of mixing the two, you know? Because I'm not saying like, oh, like go into like a sports community and, and start talking about fucking your music and shit. That's not what I'm talking about. But like go mingle with other communities, right? And then other people get curious on who you are as a creator and like what you do, you know? Because that's how it was for me, you know? Because they check the bio, they check the links, they're like, oh my god, you make music, I didn't know that. And then all of a sudden you have a new supporter, you know, in a place where you wouldn't have normally expected it, you know? Because I do think people get so caught up all the time of like, you know, promoting in places and being in places that have to do with music, that sometimes it really does work like outside of other communities, you know, and it's just something to think about. You know what I mean? Definitely something to think about. But um, that's that, my friends. We'll definitely upload this on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it. Well done, my friends. Well done. Um, you know, that's a really good topic, you know, and I don't see like not a lot of people talk about it, but again, it's kind of like an interesting one, you know, very very specific, very specific. All right, so you guys know the drill, and you know what time it is. Let's pop open to Twitter, and let's see what we got for this week's submissions. All right, all right, all right. Wham blam, you guys know the drill, but if you don't and you're new here, submissions are always in the same format every single week. The only thing that does change is the date. So again, make sure you double check the date and make sure that you're submitting for a show that has not happened yet. But again, everything's always in the same format, and submissions will always read Artists and Creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on May 19th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch.tv/SonPlays, which is here and now. And of course, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've pretty much reacted to everything here on the show. Everything from music to instrumentals to remixes to covers to acoustic versions to photography, videography, merch, music videos, YouTube edits, vlogs, days in the life. We've done it all here on the show, of course, because a lot of creatives are multi-talented, right? So we want to give everybody a fair shake to show off their content. And of course, if you feel like you deserve some spotlight on the Music Mondays podcast, feel free to drop your links and portfolios below. And of course, we do have a 3-hour show limit just to keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch back. And of course, we are one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch every single Monday. So again, very important for us to kind of keep it at a little bit of a balance, right? Of course, it's still a little bit long to watch back at 3 hours, but definitely not as long as our like 5-6 hour shows we used to do in like 2023. So again, just keep that in mind. And of course, submissions are free. They always have been free. The only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit. And of course, like I said, they're always free. They have been free, and they always will be free. But of course, the only thing that we do ask is that you're following on Twitter before you do submit, because that not only helps spread our message and grow our audience, but of course, you pay respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And of course, you gain access to a wonderful community of very, very talented and friendly creatives. So, kind of a win-win. Outside of that, Patreon submissions will be played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you'll gain access to a whole bunch of goodies, including the Music Mondays Fast Pass. So again, for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays podcast, all of your submissions will be played first here on the show, which again, you'll be played at the height of viewership, but also when people go and watch the show back, you'll be one of the first submissions that they do see. So kind of a win-win. And huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. You guys are wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Outside of that, I think the only thing that we do gotta mention is that submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. Again, we are a live show, so we like to keep things a little bit more free flow, make sure that we have a proper head count and things like that. And we like to keep the order as organic as possible, right? Because I don't sort the replies in any way. We were doing the show before you could even fucking use that feature. That feature's like only like a year old, but yeah, we like to keep the replies a little bit organic as well. So again, you have like 6.5 days or so to submit your tracks, so plenty of time. Obviously, a good rule of thumb is that if the show is live, submissions are closed. And again, submissions do open every single Tuesday, so if you're watching the show here live, Submissions will be open for episode 227 tomorrow. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are already open, so make sure you go drop your tracks. All right, my friends. Outside of that, I think we are good to go. Again, if you have any more questions or you want any more information on the Music Mondays podcast, we do have a how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide over there on our YouTube channel, which I just updated for 2025. And I kind of broke down the lore behind the Music Mondays podcast, why we take submissions on Twitter, how we got on Twitter, why the show started, and things like that. So again, if you have any interest in that, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. It is also available on our home page. Alrighty, my friends. So, I think we're good to go. Outside of that, let's get into it. Let's see how many Patrons we have tonight, and then obviously we'll just go top to bottom per usual. Let's see. I think we only have one tonight when I went and scrolled through here. Yeah, all right. So we got Jordan. Jordan is coming up first, man. Jordan's pretty clutch here because they were pretty far down the list. But a multi-genre talented artist, Jordan has had a fucking hot 2025 and a really, really solid 5 months. Collab projects, singles, visuals, just really like, just like putting it to the test. Like Jordan is really, really, not only putting out a bunch of content, right, but they've also improved like tenfold for sure. Man, I can't believe we're already 5 months in, and like the shit that we've seen from Jordan has just been very stellar, very stellar. But this week they submitted a brand new track titled "Uphill." I'm down. Pop it open, a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Like I said, Jordan, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, has come through with a brand new track that's actually only 10 hours old. Literally brand new. Painting by the homie Michael, prod by Jordan, and written by Jordan. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Jordan, Uphill.
I've been taking some notes. All this time I just act natural. All the time goes too fast, as you know. Any other dimension, I might not have this luck. Moved in every direction, try to learn from backing up. Now I sit in reflection, trying to decide if I've had enough. I don't know what you expected, don't move your feet, you might get stuck. No one told me, I found out on my own. Still learning myself, I've been taking some notes. All this time, I just act natural. All the time goes too fast, as you know, just cannot stop. The summer gets hot, stay cool and keep up. Room at the top, some hold a spot, they cannot keep up. I know how I gotta move, all starts with digging in deeper. Push this rock like I do, cause I know the hill can get steeper. Any other dimension, I might not have this luck. Moved in every direction, try to learn from backing up. Now I sit in reflection, trying to decide if I've had enough. I don't know what you expected, don't move your feet, you might get stuck. No one told me, I found out on my own. Still learning myself, I've been taking some notes. All this time, I just act natural. All the time goes too fast, as you know. Stay cool and keep up. They cannot keep up. I know how I gotta move, all starts with digging in deeper. Push this rock like I do, cause I know the hill can get steeper.
Tempo crazy.
Cool and keep up. They cannot keep up.
I like the sample a lot. We got Ghost in chat. What's good, homie? Hope you're well. Let's get it, baby. See, this almost felt like some like real classic Jordan, and especially with like the SLM references. If you've been around Jordan for a while, you'll definitely get the still learning myself references and how much of a journey that was for Jordan. But wow, well done. A very chill, kind of like laid back track. This is a very like Sunday kind of like kick back, roll up, chill out a little bit. Yeah. Definitely. All right. let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental. So self prod. Now Jordan, per usual, has really done well with some of the instrumentals that they cook up for themselves. It's just so interesting because you know, self-produced artists are so common these days, but Jordan has had such a flavor with what they choose to kind of create with, right? And this one kind of like hits the nail on the head for a Jordan type beat, if you will. You know what I mean? So I feel like the production was like A1 on this as far as style goes. Um, Quality was great. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Sample was like at the perfect level. I feel like drum selection was solid. Sound selection was great. Nothing too crazy that I would ultimately change on this at all, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, mix is really solid. Not really a shocker. Something you always want to point out for anybody new here. Got some new things for the summer. This one felt like a nice warm up. Yeah, definitely. And we got the homie Jordan in the motherfucking chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Um, yeah. Yeah. So I definitely see the vision. It really did have that like Sunday vibe for me. It really did. Um, so instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. Let's talk about it. Um, I like the sample a lot. I like the sample like a real lot. That was like one of the first things I noticed. It has like a good like R&B kind of R&B like chill vibe, but also I think the drums and like the structure was insane. I like when the 808 comes in a lot. And the sound selection for the drums were definitely up there for me. I'm kind of torn between drums and structure, even though I do like the instrumental, sample. I mean, but I mean, mm, let's go drums on this one, just because sound selection and the patterns were like really top tier on this, really top tier. Yeah, let's definitely go patterns or drums. I mean, let's totally go drums. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix really solid, to be honest with you. Recently, Jordan's vocal mix has been like the star of the show. You know what I mean? Not only because of the quality, right, but because with each track, they just know how to really mold their vocals around the energy and the vibe and the feel of the song, right? Um, so Jordan's mixing, as far as vocals go, have been like really up there for me recently, and this one kind of is really giving me that same feeling. But mixed great, nothing like super clashy, too overbearing. Levels were solid, drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice on the instrumental. I mean, nothing to gripe about there, to be honest with you. Um, the vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. Hmm. Flow and cadence and delivery's up there. Writing's definitely up there. Hmm. Hmm. You know, eh. Let's go writing on this one because it was a mix between like that classic like Jordan uh poetic style of writing mixed with real raw um bars. So it was a little bit of a mix, but let's go writing on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, uphill, and this is a painting by the homie Michael. And Michael's done a lot of the art for Jordan if Jordan's not doing it himself. And man, it's just so iconic with like this like mannequin style, but this one almost has like this like math textbook, almost like it just reminds me of school for some reason. You know what I mean? It really reminds me of school, and like again, kind of taking the simple route of like, the more you look at it, the more you see kind of deal. Because you could like look at it at face value, see it surface level, right? But as you're kind of like looking deeper at it, a lot of the cubes in the background are crazy. Like there's almost like another painting on the wall back here. You know what I mean? So some of these covers are very interesting to look at. And I always think Michael does a really good job on these, for sure. But that's solid. Aesthetics definitely on point, especially for a single. Um, hmm. Overall theme, uphill, very interesting. I mean, Jordan does describe the feeling of going uphill very well, but also it's almost like in like a motivational way almost, because you take that like Sunday relax, like chill vibe, and much like mentioned in the chat by Jordan, the summer-ish kind of vibe. Um, it was almost just like a good like anti Sunday scaries kind of song, keeps you motivated, but you can also like relax and kind of chill out to it. And like I said, it has a good mix of Jordan writing of like a lot of like poetic lines mixed with like a lot of like real raw punchlines and just regular like bars, So it was a good mix of Jordan styles here. This is a good like cover single, if you will. Like this is one of those ones where, if somebody approaches you in the street and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you make music," like da da da. This is a perfect song to show them, right? Because it's super palatable, but also like you could kind of like get all of Jordan in this one song, especially like modern current Jordan. This is a great representation of that, in my opinion. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan. Thank you so much for this submission. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud, man. They're only 8 followers away from 100. That is a great milestone. And of course, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter. They're only 10 followers away from 410. So make sure you go show them some love and go show all these artists some love per usual. And of course, everybody that submitted tonight will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. You guys know that. And of course, make sure you go subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. All right, my friends. Well done. That was a hot start to the show. Jordan always kicks us off right, man. Always kicks us off right. Okay, so that was our only Patreon for the night, so you guys know the drill. We're just going to go from top to bottom and run down the community submissions. So let's go. First up, we got the homie Sam's Raps, a very, very talented hip-hop artist, came through with a brand new Sauce Gang track. Official lead single from the upcoming Sauce Gang mixtape, Flaming Lips, and get jumped in. Vocals in order by the homie Sam's, Grant, Attaboy Paulo, Uggy, and Amenta. Production by the homie Coffee B. Mix and master by Grant. Cover art by Uggy. Love that. Love all the credits in here. Okay, I'm down. Sam's Rap has been on a hot streak here on the Music Mondays podcast. A lot of their submissions recently have been fucking crazy. So let's see what we got here. All right, so let's see. All right, so we got the whole crew here. Perfect. Wow. Cover's crazy. I like the logo there too. All right, let's get into it. So order of verses. So Sam's, Grant, Paulo, Uggy, and Amenta. All right, let's get into it. Sauce Gang, Flaming Lips. Let's go.
You ever think about like old days and shit? Like it's like things don't work like they used to. Brain ain't work like it used to. Drugs don't hit like they used to. They still kinda work, but I need to cop it and clip it to roll it and burn it. Some of us birth from up under the surface. They set up obstacles, potholes, deterrents. They plotting to stop you from making them nervous. Still made it perfect though. Big things coming, we ain't never heard of some. You fuck ups been at it for years and you leaving with post. Don't got one fucking verse to show.
Burnt out at the show, I got vertigo. Ain't shit sweet, hanging with the nerd rope. So bleak, I'm in Memphis with the blunt smoke. Knee deep in mud, I need me a hug. Dial up the plug, buy about 28 grams. Candy yams, drink a dub on the laptop. Lemonade, e-board, cruising in the rack top. Bumping through your speakers and we're doing that shit non-stop.
Chop, chop, hurry, I got places
Damn.
to go. I'm on a stopwatch, opposite of taking it slow. Talk from the vodka, buzzing cause I'm blazing the bone. Girl in a crop top, locking eyes, I'm taking her home. Living the fast life, highway to oblivion. Everywhere my feet touch turns into obsidian. I've been in perilous dangers, nowadays I'm just blaring 36 chambers, scaring the neighbors. 40s on ice, I'ma need to. Your rap cellophane like a see-through. Baseline mug needs EQ. Ain't got no drops, just previews. Toe drag on a make, that's a redo. Control my palm, I delete fool. Sauce gang serve it up, I'ma eat too. Sauce gang serve it up, you should eat fool.
When I'm eating, we eating team rules. They ain't built for the war, just to cheap fuel. Muzzle on the barrel, let it breathe through. I'm known to take the kick out your drums, that's an EQ.
What? What?
Daily nerve agent, chefing in the burnt roast. War ready, raging, clip a guard for the wrong crow. Sauce life, handshake, laced with a blood oath.
Things don't work like they used to. 40s on ice, I'ma need to. Brain ain't work like it used to. Your rap cellophane like a see-through. Drugs don't hit like they used to. They still kinda work, but I need to. Still kinda work, but I need to. Still kinda work, but I need to.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was tough. That was tough. That was a lot packed into only 2 minutes, too. That's crazy. I expected that to be way longer. And, like, from, like, start to finish, it's packed in. And Onwuka, what's good, Opie? Well, I agree. The cellophane line was something that stuck out to me a lot instantly. I was like, holy shit, that's tough. The fucking cellophane line was super tough. Everybody killed it, though. I enjoyed that a lot. That might be one of my favorites in a long time by these homies here, for sure. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, let's talk 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, obviously. We're gonna talk vocals, obviously. And we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Flaming Lips. So, man, let's talk instrumental. So, a really great instrumental for a bunch of artists to hop on, right? It's very like palatable. It's like an open canvas for, you know, no matter what kind of artist or verse you want to throw on that, if you were slick enough about it, you could pretty much get it to work, right? So it's one of those instrumentals that's very easy to like get a bunch of people on and have it be like effortless, and it flows really nicely, you know. So I like the choice for this a lot. Let's talk mix. The mix is great to me, to be honest with you. I really like the mix because everybody's verses kind of like connect really well, but deeper than that, the instrumental is like on point as far as levels go, and like making everybody else sound even better, you know. So I have no gripes with the instrumental at all. Nothing super clashy to overbearing, nothing I would like ultimately change on this at all. Everybody sounds really nice on it, you know. And even like the bass line is crazy. So instrumental mix, very solid. Instrumental shining star. Instrumental shining star. You know, let's go with the drums on this. Subtle, but they're very important. Very, very important. I remember when we first started writing to, I was like, there's so much space to... Yeah, that's what I thought. I really thought that, Sams. I really did. Like, it's just one of those instrumentals that, like, you know, almost anybody could, like, carve themselves around, you know? And you can really make a lot work on instrumentals like that, so... And I feel like you guys really just let loose with it, so it worked out. It definitely worked out. So, instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Lots to get into for the vocals here. So, obviously, vocals in order. We got the homie Sam's raps up first. Grant, Paulo, Uggy, and Amenta. Okay. So, first off, let's just talk about the mix. The mix is fantastic. Mix is absolutely fucking fantastic. You know, one thing about these tracks with like a bunch of people on them, right? If it's like more than like 2 or 3, you know, you really got to pay attention to the mix and make sure that everybody sounds solid on it, right? And everybody flows and like transfers really, really nicely. All right. So, again, lots to kind of dissect here for this. But first off, let's talk mix. And again, like I said, everybody sounds really, really solid from verse to verse, so that was a huge thing. Levels are great to me, but the styles are also really solid because, like, nobody really sounds the same. Like, everybody kind of really has their own delivery. They have their own kind of almost like attitude on the track, you know, which I think is super fucking important. But yeah, thinking back on it, I definitely no gripes here either. I mean, the biggest thing was like the levels, right? And like how each verse sounds from verse to verse. really solid. Really, really solid. I mean, not really a shocker here coming from this crew and really Sauce Gang in general. I mean, all these guys have always had a really solid mix. But something I always want to point out for anybody new here, for sure. So, vocal mix, no gripes. Definitely not. Hmm. Vocal shining star. I mean, at first I was gonna say flow and cadence and delivery because everybody really flowed on this like super super smoothly, but there's too much good writing in this. Too much good writing from Sam's verse all the way towards the end. It was just like, and like even on Muka pointed out too, like the cellophane line. Um, there was just a couple that just like stick out, and you're just like, whoa, because they're like creative, and it like takes you back and it makes you think, very very creative. Everyone has a bar on this one, which I agree. Like you totally could like take like one line from everybody and really really kind of like point it out for sure. Um, damn. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with writing, man. I mean, flow and cadence and delivery from everybody was really solid, but I really like the writing on this. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, absolutely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, I'm big on this cover. I think Uggy did this, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Like this is, I mean, come on, simple but very effective. I like the text in the background. The flaming lips kind of like gets represented here in the middle for sure. But I think my favorite part about it, and it's super dumb, but like I just like small stuff like this, is the sticker here. Um, I always thought that shit like this was just super cool. It like physical media when it comes down to like music is like pretty rare these days, right? I mean, people still buy like vinyls and CDs and whatnot, but obviously not as much as they used to. And shit like that just like reminds me, it like always reminds me. So I like small stuff like that, at least for me. Big shout out Sauce Game for sure, for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Love the cover. Um, Overall theme, flaming lips. I mean, it's a great analogy for everybody kind of spitting fucking heat on this track. That's for sure. Um, but this is definitely a good showcase of everybody's writing. To be honest with you, like this is like a really great like Sauce Gang representation. If like you want to show somebody again, much like I said for Jordan, you know, what Sauce Gang, who's in Sauce Gang, or what do you guys do? What kind of music do you make? Shit like that. This is the motherfucking song you need to be showing them. This right here, for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, official lead single. It's definitely got that like hit like lead single kind of feel to it. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, because this is it. This is it. This is literally the only thing on the Sauce Gang profile. So that's how you know it's gonna be nuts. That's how you know this whole project is gonna be fucking nuts, for sure. But yeah, I wouldn't dig like super deep on the theme for this one. This is one where I feel like the whole crew kind of showed their best for sure, and really gave a good like representation of Sauce Gang as a whole. Everybody did their thing on this for sure. So well done, my friends. Well done. A huge shout out to the homie Sam's Raps. Make sure you go follow Sam's and everybody under this song. Make sure you go show him some love on Spotify. Of course, make sure you follow Sam's Raps on Twitter. They're approaching 1.1K on the Bird app, so make sure you go show them some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So let's get it, baby. Very glad you liked it, homie. Old tape drops May 30th. Yeah, oh yeah, we're so down. We're absolutely down. May 30th is literally only like a week away, so shit, I'm down. Whole project of that? A whole project of that? Let's go. Let's fucking go, yeah. We are so down for that. Absolutely. Well done, my friend. Great song. I agree, Ghost. I agree. And what's good? I hope you're well. Happy Monday. Welcome on in. That was a great way to fucking kick off the show. That's 2 for 2, man. Up next, we have our very talented alternative friend, Lucha Libro, coming back with a new track. So, for those of you that don't know, Lucha Libro, a very interesting and talented alternative / experimental-ish artist, this came through with a brand new track, actually. When did this drop? Oh, this came out in April, so still super, super new. Barely over a month old. Damn, I don't think we've heard this one. I don't think we've heard this one. Shit. Alright, I'm down. let's get into it. Lucha Libro, let's go.
Mala onda FM, emisora de radio con millones de oyentes. Hay un premio que no se puede ganar, todos participan solo para poder lastimar.
Almost spooky.
Mala onda FM, tocan descanso de 15, tocan un poco de publicidad. Anúnciate aquí, no puedes perder y nunca vas a mejorar. Mala onda FM, lo mejor que se puede ser es un 6,7. A veces se sabe solo con ver el oyente. Mala onda, pegado en la frente, con una cara de chupar limones, con todo su sabor, con una cara que hasta su madre no le puede mostrar amor. Mala onda FM, transmitida por todos los continentes. Hay un premio que no se puede ganar, todos participan solo para poder lastimar.
Oh shit. That was a very, very interesting track. I mean, Lucha always comes through with these tracks that are very like very ethereal, just very like very unique at the end of the day. Um but man, what an interesting approach of the mix too, because like you know, we've heard enough Lucha Libre now as to where we know that like mixing like that is like super intentional, right? Like certain tracks they just like having this like phone slash like almost analog staticky kind of mix, right? So it's very interesting, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. Instrumental. Very bare bones, but obviously still very lucha libre. Mix was solid for what it is. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing. Melody was solid. I like the guitar per usual. Vocals sat nice. Nothing that I would like really change on this. Again, it's pretty bare bones, so not much to really go on there. But nothing that I would like really ultimately change on it. And again, it still has that like raw acoustic flavor to it, so I feel like that was a good choice. But yeah, nothing like super crazy to note about the mix. Instrumentally, so instrumental mix definitely solid for where it's at. Instrumental shining star. I mean, you're gonna have to go with the melody there, right? I mean, the guitar is great. I mean, you could kind of like argue structure, but let's go melody for this one. Let's definitely go melody. So, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, it's a very interesting choice, but this is Lucha's vision for some of their certain songs. I mean, this one again kind of almost had like a spooky, sad kind of feel to it. You know, it's almost like a very like very montage worthy like kind of track in like a movie or something. You know, maybe like an indie movie. I don't know. I was picturing just something sad. You know, and it definitely gave that sort of vibe to it, like a lot. Mostly because of the mix per usual, right? But again, for where it's at, like despite the like analog, almost voicemail like effect, levels were good. Nothing like super clashy to overbearing. I feel like the melody was really solid. Vocals sat nice on the instrumental. Nothing that I would like really ultimately change with the vocals. Vocal shining star. Probably flow and cadence and delivery. I think the whole delivery of it was kind of why I had that like sad, spooky kind of feel to it. It does kind of feel like a somber kind of track, you know. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. The stock theme, aesthetics. You guys know how I feel about the Lucha covers, and if you don't, and you're new here, I love Lucha's aesthetic style. They're very consistent with their aesthetics, right? But mostly because of the yellow border around their songs. I always thought that was like a really nice touch. You know what I mean? Like as you can tell, like right down here, they've done this a lot for almost every single one of their tracks, but also maintaining a very individualistic cover style as well, right? Because the yellow border just kind of more so like represents Lucha, and the covers inside of them are very like different. They have a lot of variety, right? So, yet. So aesthetics definitely on point, but overall theme very interesting. Again, you know, I just can't help but get that like sad, almost like scary, somber feeling like out of my head when I first heard this. It definitely pushes that like spooky kind of line, you know what I mean? But also you could kind of take it the sad route as well. So somewhat up to interpretation for the listener, but I feel like it's definitely a very like Lucha Libre like personal track as well. Very subliminal. But well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Lucha Libre. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow Lucha Libre on Spotify, and of course make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are only 9 followers away from 150. Make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers, so we upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. All right, we left off the homie Lucha Libre. Up next is the homie Deezit. Artist Deezit, track Regroup, produced by Deezit, album Dark Sands, all platforms. Love that. So I don't think have we reacted to Deezit on the show? I think they've made SoundCloud Sunday a few times, but I don't think we've reacted to him here on the show. Interesting. All right, so let's go pop this in a new tab here. So this is off their project Dark Sands. This is a 10-track project. Which track did they submit? They submitted Regroup. This is track 4 of a 10-track project. Okay, I'm down. Dropped in March 28th of this year, so literally only 2 months old. Interesting. All right, so first time submitting artist Deezit. Regroup. Let's go.
Chin off for my man's gone, we was hands on. We was down from the beatbox to the bus stops to the standoffs. Locked in with the hands crossed, Big Z-Bo, Zach Randolph. I ain't no politician, but I can kick it with some good pants on. Maybe even call him Van Gloss. Art is a Marshall Vanguard. And the way that everything is going, you're gonna have to tell me what you stand for. I can see with your hands though, know some new product for apartments and the bandos. It's a dark sand, you gon' need some new sandals. Always have some different handles. When the sun shines, no candles. Army jacket like I'm Rambo, but he speak well, no Sambo. Homie showed me with a fan post. I was mind blown when I came home. I don't mind the good praises, but I gotta keep my head in the same tone. On the move like it's Daytona. I move fast, but I stay strong. I was on that marijuana, one at every corner like a payphone. Now whoops, there's no more payphones. Could never tell you what was really sold. I just wanna keep it 10 toes. Been a superhero, not as villain mode. It's like
wow.
Fat moose, no hands and feet. Got Sci-fi dudes with the rhymes and beats. Had me in the building, I got a lease. And the people watch you by the mind you reach. Had a little pic, that's my Mona Lisa. Real life beauty, I had the beast. Pull up with the sands, know I got a beach. Ravioli, red sauce, bada bing. Been a scene through a whole lot of things. Feel I'm overdue for a lot of greens. Trying to make a place in a lot of screens. With a few seconds, he shot a 3. Like he had 10 hoes. Could never show you what was really sold. I just want to keep it 10 toes. Been a superhero, now it's villain mode. It's like
Yeah. I like the outro. Well done, man. That felt like almost like a A side and B side too, especially with like the hero villain lines and whatnot. Wow, that was really well put together. Very, very well put together. Shit. All right, so let's break it down. Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Regroup. So, instrumental. I love the choice. Again, another instrumental that has like an open canvas, right? So you could kind of carve your style on this however you wanted. And I think Deezus did a really good job. But the mix is great. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Felt like the melodies were on point. Sound selection was on point. Vocals sound great. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing I would really change on this one, to be honest with you. A very, very clean mix. Very clean. Instrumental Shining Star. Now that's the proper question. I kind of want to say the melodies. I mean, the melodies here are just like very recognizable, you know? Very catchy. Get stuck in your head. There's like almost like a marathon kind of feel to it as well. Yeah, let's go melodies on this one. I like the drums though, but definitely melodies. The instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Again, vocal mix, fantastic. Almost has like a little bit of like an analog flavor to it as well, right? It's almost like slightly staticky, but it adds to like the feel of the song, but still crisp, clean, straight to the point. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing I would like really ultimately change on this one, to be honest with you. So vocal mix very solid. Very raw and like real, but still like high quality. So, vocal Shining Star. You know, you could argue flow and cadence and delivery, but I'm gonna have to go writing here. I'm definitely gonna have to go writing here. I think writing and lyrics is up there for me. Definitely. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melodies, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Like I said, this is track 4 off of a 10-track project titled Dark Sands. And the aesthetics are fucking crazy. Whoever did this art did a fantastic job. Dark Sands at the top middle, Deezus at the bottom middle. It almost has like this cracked, like, this cracked sand feeling. You know how like when sand gets wet and then it dries at the surface? And then like you like throw something at it and it starts cracking? That's what this reminds me of. Especially calling it Dark Sands, I feel like this was really, really solid. And then like the hands at the top and, you know, bass in the middle, it really came together on this one, man. Simple but straight to the point, you know? And it makes you feel something. For sure, it makes you feel something. Definitely. So aesthetics, absolutely on point. Overall theme. Regroup. It does kind of have that like retreat and regroup kind of feel to it, you know, and like go back and reflect and like start replanning, you know. And I'm not even saying like regroup in the sense of defeat, but sometimes you get worn down, you know, you need a break, you get tired, you overwork yourself, you need to go regroup, you know. It did have that feeling to it, but also it was almost like It was almost like a subliminal kind of song for DZ and them kind of getting their thoughts out in terms of like their own life and what's going on in their day to day. You know, so it was a very personal song for them as well. But again, it did have that like A side B side kind of deal just because of the hero and villain lines. You know, so I feel like this is a very deep track. You know, this is definitely one where the replayability is high because you like, you know, going back and re-listening to that is probably one of the most jarring things because you're gonna point out lines that you missed the first time and et cetera, et cetera. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Deezit. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are approaching 1.9K on the Bird apps. Make sure you go show them some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz over there on the channel. And actually, Deezit sent like this snippet video as well with their submission.
Stops to the standoffs, locked in with the hands crossed, Big Z-Bo, Zach Randolph. I ain't no politician, but I can kick
Yeah,
it
this is
with
tough.
pants on. Maybe even call him Van Gloss. Art is a Marshall Vanguard. And the way that everything is going, you're gonna have to tell me what you stand for.
Very
I can
tough.
see with your hands though, with some new product for apartments and the bandos. It's a dark sand, you're gonna need some new sandals. Always have some different hand.
Oh, and the sand effect in the promo video. Well done. Well done. All right. Let's see here. So we left off with the homie Deezit. Up next is the homie Braden. Now, Braden, a multi-genre talented artist, again, has been quite on a fucking run in 2025. They've been releasing like a madman, and their quality just keeps going up and up and up. So this week, Braden submitted a Spotify track. I'm down. Pop it open, a new tab. Let's see what we got here. It's been a while since we had Braden so early in the show, man. I feel like a lot of their submissions recently have been like so fucking far down the list. But this is let's see, track 6 off of a 15 track project, and it dropped on May 6th. And I think we reacted to, I think it was The Beautiful Struggle. But this week we're gonna be doing Can't Have Shit in Pennsylvania. Can't have shit in Pennsylvania, man. Fuck me. All right, let's get into it. Braden, Can't Have Shit in Pennsylvania. Let's go.
Oh, no, okay,
Yeah. I'm finna play it.
Alright.
W intro.
Yeah. Bitch, let me talk. Pull up my presence, you live in the past. Just like your whole discography, we put them in the trash.
Shit.
Put them on the news, I put them on a mag. Bitch, I want all the smoke, but you ain't got no gas. They know that I'm white, but I can really spaz. Off a perk, I'm spinning around in circles like I'm fucking Taz. Bitch, I'm focused on the green and I make friends and cash. I'ma paint my nails and pop my shit cause I'm a fucking fag. I wasn't born rich, I got no expensive clothes. This bitch crying in my DMs like, bitch, just use your nose. She is not my problem, I need her off of my phone. But every time I go outside, all I see is clones. Who wouldn't wanna be me? Got depression, ADHD. I feel like everybody hates me. That's how I've been feeling lately. This chick won't be trying to taste me. She straight up told me that she craves me. She gon' give me good throat, no crane beak. But I still feel like she won't date me. No, she won't. People love my presence, you live in the past. Just like your whole discography, we put them in the trash. Bitch, I put them on the news, I put them on a mag. Bitch, I want all the smoke, but you ain't got no gas. They know that I'm white, but I can really spaz. Off a perk, I'm spinning around in circles like I'm fucking Taz. Bitch, I'm focused on the green and I make friends and cash. I'ma paint my nails and pop my shit cause I'm a fucking fag.
Yeah.
He wasn't too cool to
Dipset-
care.
Dipset,
You
that-
can't
they're
be
cool.
too cool, because if you too cool, you gonna freeze to death.
Right.
If you're too cool, you're gonna freeze to death. I mean, shit, not wrong. Wow, okay. Well done. Well fucking done, my friend. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, let's talk about 3 things here, my friends. We're talking about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of Can't Have Shit in Pennsylvania. So, let's see. Let's talk instrumental. A very interesting instrumental choice by the homie Braden, but I do remember them mentioning that that they were gonna do a little bit more of an experimental vibe on this project, and they definitely did. They definitely fucking nailed it. That's for sure. They definitely fucking nailed it. Hmm. Interesting choice. I mean, it's still very interesting, but regardless, instrumental mix. Let's talk about it. Really solid, to be honest with you. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. As obscure as it is, I feel like Braden did really good with it. You know what I mean? And the prod definitely did their thing. Sound selection was good. Melody was very interesting, but still solid. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing that I would like really ultimately change. I think Braden sounds really good on it. So, instrumental mix definitely there. Instrumental shining star. Hmm. Probably the drums, right? I feel like the drums and the drum patterns and the sound selection is like really solid. Let's go with the drums. Go with the drums on this one. Even though the melody is very like almost video game like, but I'm gonna go with the drums. Instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, very much on point. Braden's had a really solid vocal mix for as long as I can remember. You know, no matter what kind of instrumental or style they're doing, whether they're going more melodic and they use a little bit more autotune, or they kind of deep fry their shit, they go a little bit more like anti-alt pop, or they just really kind of keep it simple and raw and clean. This one kind of hits that mark for me though, and again, nothing like super clashy to overbearing. Braden sounds nice on it, drums cut through nicely. Nothing I would really change on this, to be completely honest with you. The vocal mix definitely there, especially the levels. Vocal shining star on the other hand though, I mean, it's got to be the writing, right? Creative but like funny, but also like very serious writing as well. Yeah, there was a couple bars in here that I liked for sure, and the hook was crazy. Yeah, let's go writing. Writing like across the board for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, bigger than words. I spoke a little bit about this one last week, but again, I love these minimalist kind of simple covers here, especially this one with the handprint. It almost like looks a little creepy, like I said last week, but definitely solid for a full length project. And of course, like I said, like Braden's like whole aesthetic here when it comes to like all their blue filtered art, and you know, kind of like utilizing the IRL photos, you know what I mean, and kind of really coming up with their own aesthetic. I mean, again, there's no rule for this. You don't necessarily need to be fucking doing this, you know, but it always does look good when, you know, you kind of spread it out like this. But aesthetics definitely on point, very much on point. Overall theme, Can't Have Shit in Pennsylvania. So it's a fucking hilarious song title, I won't lie, but this is definitely one of the more subliminal ones for Braden for sure. They spoke about quite a few things in here, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't like nail it down to like one specific thing, but definitely a good like get this off my chest kind of track from Braden for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Braden on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Braden's new Twitter as well. They're only 7 followers away from 10. So make sure you go show them some love over there in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Well done. Well fucking done. Alright, so we just left off with the homie Braden. Up next is the homie Most Dope Kimon. Another artist that's been on a fucking run in 2025. And actually, I just sat down with Kimon a couple weeks ago, not even like 2 weeks ago, for a written interview on the Music Mondays homepage. So make sure you go check that out and go show Kimon some love. But Kimon, a very talented hip hop artist, came through with Zaza, the official visualizer. Let's get it. I'm down, man. Kimon's been fucking destroying the visuals recently. Okay, so let's go 720. Go full volume. 7 days ago, prod Chrome. Interesting. All right, full screen it. Most Dope Kimon, Zaza, official visualizer. Let's go. The green on green is crazy. What? Damn, man. We're getting a lot of like chill, like relaxed tracks tonight. Holy shit. This one I really like though. I really like this one a lot. Just because the visual is so simple. And like the green on green is like the first thing that I noticed. Like filming in this grassy area with the green fit, it just looks crazy on camera. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So, we're going to talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Zaza. Or no, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're going to talk about the visualizer for Zaza. Still going to talk about the theme though. All right. Instrumental. I like the choice. It's a very Kimon type instrumental. Crossing that line of like R&B, plug and B, with a little bit more of like a trap sauce sprinkled in there. It's like very like alt plug, you know. It's not exactly like type beat plug and B, but it's very interesting. But regardless, I like the choice. It's a very Kimon type instrumental. So instrumental mix, great. To be honest with you, I think Kimon's always had a really solid instrumental mix throughout all their tracks, but nothing like super clashy to overbearing. I think Kimon sounds really solid on it. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing I would really change on this, to be honest with you. And again, not really a shocker, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here. So instrumental mix, definitely up there. Instrumental Shining Star. I have to go with the drums on this one. Chill, but still like has that like attitude to it. You know what I mean? So let's go with drums on this one. Instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. I love Kimon's mix on this. It's a little bit more of like a melodic mix, but again, Kimon kind of like is very consistent with their vocal mix, and you know sometimes certain instrumentals can make your mix a little bit weird or something like that, or kind of start to fight back and forth, right? And Kimon never seems to have that issue. Like they really kind of know where their vocals are gonna sit, and you know what they're supposed to sound like, and X, Y, or Z, right? So I feel like Kimon has a really good lock on their vocal mix, and you can tell. You can just tell. You know what I mean? So vocal mix solid. Vocal Shining Star. Probably the writing. There was a couple lines in here where it just made me laugh, and like it's just clever. You know, Kimon's a very solid writer, especially for how they record. And you know, sometimes you know you'll get all the details in the written interview if you go check that out. But Kimon's you know writing and lyrical ability are just amazing. You know, it's so interesting to me. But this one in particular had a lot of lines that kind of like stuck with me. So I'm gonna go with writing for this one. Definitely writing. So Instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk about the visualizer. So this one here, again, not really like an official music video, but still kind of like hits that mark, you know? Like you could call this a music video, you know? Like you really could get away with it, but I see why Kimon doesn't. And this one here though, it has the Sunday vibe as well. Like I feel like everybody's on that relaxed kind of chill Sunday vibe, and Kimon kind of nailed it for this one especially. But this one's great because this one kind of shows, right, in terms of visuals, this one kind of shows like what you can do in one location if you just use your head a little, right? And like switching up the angles, great play, you know, because you have this angle here, and then, you know, you have the angle in front of like the, where is it? It's like the electrical box, right? It's like right at the beginning or like right here. Yeah, this shot. This shot right, where'd it go? This one. Yeah, this shot right here. I feel like just switching up the angles in like this one area makes like all the difference, right? So this one right here, I like this one a lot because it almost changes like the vibe of the area, you know? Because if you go back, you think it's just like field, right? And then you go back here and it kind of has a little bit more of like an industrial kind of feel to it. So I like the location, but also like I like how it was filmed because the different angles are everything. But, you know, they kind of stayed in one location and made it work, which I think was smart as fuck. You know what I mean? I think that was smart as fuck. And, like, even just, like, the light editing, you know, just putting, like, the foggy, almost, like, blur filter on and kind of just keeping it light in terms of transitions as well. And, of course, I mean, for a track about gas, you know, you have to be smoking gas, but it does kind of like give me that Sunday relax vibe, you know, but mostly from the location. And I think for bonus points, I think the outfit's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I think the outfit's really, really up there for me. I'm not gonna lie. Because as soon as Kimon came on screen, like the green on green was like immediately noticeable for me. You know what I mean? So I liked it a lot. I'd say Shining Star for the visualizer. Probably the location, man. I'm not gonna lie. And then Kimon on camera is just very chill, so that's always a plus. And Kimon always looks like they're having fun too. So again, very noticeable. But Shining Star here, the location. I love Kimon and crew's vision for a lot of their music videos and visualizers, man. They really know what they're doing, and it feels very authentic. You know, I think the key word here is authentic. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Kimon. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel, man. They're only 4 subs away from 90, and they've been dropping like crazy. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Kimon on Twitter. They're only 7 followers away from 20. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is on the channel. If you already have, thank you. Let's get it, baby. All right, my friends. Let's see here. So, all right. Up next is, we left off the homie Most Up Kimon. Up next is I Say. It's been a while since we heard from Sean and I Say, man. A multi-genre talented artist, I Say, has submitted, by the way. Now this is a duo that has been fucking insane. Every time they submit to the show, you never know what you're gonna get, you know, because they flex so many genres really well. Like they really can like push the bar when it comes to their genres and like what they can do. But let's pop it open a new tab. All right, let's see. By the way, no pun intended, but Spotify's new UI on PC is so awful, man. But regardless, let's see. I love this fucking cover. This is a great cover to use. Jesus. All right, let's get into it. Sean, I Say, by the way, let's go. Bit of a dance vibe.
what you think about? Do you think of me? Do you wanna vibe with me? Or do you wanna walk with me? Like it's the 80s night. We going all back, yeah. We going all back, yeah. And by the way, I like the way you talk, I like the way you walk. Hey, hey, by the way you smile, you make it so perfect, yeah, yeah. By the way, I like the way you talk, I like the way you walk, yeah. Feel like I'm in the 80s all over again.
Feels like I'm in the 80s. Let's dance, my girl. If you wanna be with me, let's dance, my girl. I see you there, you're looking at me, you smiling at me. I see the eyes with the eyes, you're looking at me. You got that green eyes, that brown eyes, that green eyes. Let's dance, my girl. I won't ask you again for you to say yes, I will get on my knees and ask you to be my wife, to be my girl, to be my.
So you waiting for, what you scared for, what you dying for, what you waiting for? Is I got there, y'all gon' make it. Will break me, they won't break me. We won't change me, we won't change me. My baby, she's my baby from the 80s, she's my baby from the 80s, she's my baby, yeah. Let's dance the night away. Let's dance the night away. Looking for 80s shit. Feel like I'm in the 80s shit. Feel like I'm in the 80s shit. Feel like I'm in the 80s. My baby, yeah.
What a vibe. Very dance, beach, almost like yacht party kind of like it just has this R&B dance kind of vibe. It was really well done. And this is what I mean. Like these two flex so many different genres, right? Like we've seen some like alternative trap, we've seen some raw real hip hop, we've seen R&B, we've seen dance stuff. We've seen so much from these two. Christ, I didn't even think we've heard like an EDM type track one time. Like I'm pretty sure they've done it all. But yeah, shit, well done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, let's talk about three things here. Let's talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental. Great choice by these two. I mean, they're very melodic artists at heart anyway, so it's not really a shocker that they picked this one. And, you know, again, with their genre versatility, I feel like this was a no-brainer. So, instrumental mix. Fantastic. I love the drums. They both sound really solid on it. I feel like the melody's very like nightlife kind of feel, you know. It really does have that club feel. But the mix is great, like I said. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately change on this one, to be honest with you. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Shit. Probably the drums, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the drums are very noticeable, especially the percussion. I like the drums a lot. So yeah, let's go with drums on this for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, super fucking solid. Both Sean and ISA sound really good on this, you know, like, because like I said, they're a little bit more melodic type artists regardless. But as far as this one goes, definitely no gripes. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing. Nothing that I would like ultimately change on this one, to be honest with you. You know, even like the melodic parts are super solid. You know, so no gripes with the mix at all. Vocal Shining Star on the other hand, I kind of want to go with the hook, but like the writing in general was great, but also the flow and cadence and delivery was great. Yeah. Let's go flow and cadence and delivery though. I feel like the flow and cadence and delivery made this more of like a such a very interesting like dance R&B-esque kind of track, right? So let's go flow and cadence and delivery. So instrumental solid, vocal solid. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I love this cover. Love this cover. This is one of those like Tumblr-esque covers, or like one of those like mood board kind of covers. Simple but straight to the point. I love the aesthetics of it though. The sand looks so like soft. It's fucking crazy. But for this like R&B, almost like nightlife club, almost rich sort of vibe, this is a really, really good cover. So aesthetics definitely on point for me. Overall theme, by the way, I mean it's somewhat of a love ballad, but also like more of like a romantic kind of like softer approach. I wouldn't say it's like a super crazy love ballad, but it's definitely more of like a romantic ballad for sure. Which I think both Isay and Sean do a really good job with this style, and they can almost do it over any instrumental. So that's what I really like about it. But well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Sean and Isay. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Isay on Twitter. They are only 2 follows away from 970, so make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, my friends, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friends. All right, so, up next, we have the homie, Jacob Tell. Now, Jacob's been coming through the Music Mondays podcast and bringing us some real raw, tracks, to be honest with you. But, a very talented alternative artist submitted Zero Street Ultimate Mix. Hey there. Here's a new mix of Names of the Dead from my March 2025 album, Hard to Be Human. It's based on a New York Times article from the early days of our country's military response to September 11th. Thanks as always, Jacob. I'm down, Jacob. I'm down. Let's pop it open, new tab. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's see. 480. New mix of Jacob Tells Zero Street from his March 2025 release. Great stuff. Subbed. Fantastic. Love the comments. Oh, man. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Zero Street, Jacob Tell. Let's go.
When I get so done, I go there every day.
Have a lyric video.
I never know how long I'll stay. If I resist, I'm betrayed by my own feet. And I'm so down, I'm always found on Zero Street. Some people I know are drawn to find its root. Lost, lonely, seeking some truth. The asphalt's well worn with traffic you can't beat. And I'm so down, I'm always found on Zero Street.
Hella calming, I agree.
Wherever daylight's hard to see, wherever street signs are difficult to read, wherever grass strains to grow green, wherever figures stagger silent and unclean. as shadows fill all that's in between. We've also found the hallowed ground of Zero Street. Some people you meet are designated guides, full of such pain they offer free rides. As hard as they try, their behavior's indiscreet, and I'm so down. I'm always found on Zero Street. The sidewalks uneven, the houses dark and still. The only direction uphill. Cars clog the road, their engines overheat. When I'm so down, I'm always found on Zero Street. Wherever sunshine can't break through, wherever dark buildings loom to obscure your view, wherever shattered faiths accrue, where the currency is cruelty and abuse, and the overwhelming sadness takes a hold of you. We've also found the hallowed ground of Zero Street. For those who don't care, the street signs don't appear. A part of the town they'll never fear. But some of us know each square of it's concrete. When I'm so down, I'll find you on the ground of Zero Street.
Interesting. In the vision. Jacob Tell, Zero Street. Well done, my friend. Well done. I agree with Owen Wickerman. Very calming, very like serious tone as well. So it's like it's got a good mix of a vibe here. Like it's got the relax factor, but it's also like telling a story. You know what I mean? It's telling like a big story here. Well done. Well done. All right, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, instrumental. Again, bare bones, but it gets the job done. You know what I mean? But the mix is solid. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. I think Jacob sounds really solid on it. Levels were good. I didn't think it was too loud or anything like that. I feel like it hit like a nice middle ground, you know? So, an instrumental mix very solid. Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, it's got to be the melody, right? Yeah, probably the melody, to be honest with you, because it has a very chill kind of feel, but also it's very serious as well. So almost somber, if you will. But yeah, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, very solid. Again, nothing super clashy, too overbearing. I think Jacob sounds really solid on the instrumental. I didn't think they were too loud or anything like that. Levels were good. Very simple, kind of melodic mix, but it does hit that like good like alt acoustic rock kind of vibe, you know. So definitely no gripes with the vocals at all. I thought the levels were great, like I said. Vocal Shining Star. I mean, it's got to be the writing, right? I feel like the writing was the most meaningful, obviously. So it's got to be the writing, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, absolutely the writing. Let's talk theme. So cover, simple but straight to the point. Jacob tells Zero Street, right? But I think the even deeper thing here is what Jacob said in their caption. Here's a new mix of Names of the Dead from my March 2025 album, Hard to Be Human. And Jacob said it really well here. It's based on a New York Times article from the early days of our country's military response to September 11th, which is a very, very interesting topic. I mean, you know, I was probably, I was 7 years old, 7 or 6 years old when 9/11 happened. But yeah, that whole era, like, you know, it's a very, very important topic because, like, I feel like, you know, that whole week following 9/11, I felt like was very weird for media. It was weird for the world. I think, who was it? I think somebody's tour got completely canceled or something like that because they were supposed to go on tour like the day after 9/11 happened or something like that. I think it was Michael Jackson or somebody. It was somebody pretty big, and they were supposed to go on tour like shortly after 9/11 happened. Obviously, nobody wanted to go to a fucking show during that time, right? So yeah, crazy time is and one of those topics that I could probably talk about forever, you know. But well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Jacob Tell. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel. They're now only 5 subs away from 850. So go show them some love on the tube, my friends. Of course, make sure you go follow Jacob on Twitter. They're only 2 followers away from 920. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Thanks, appreciate it, Z. Of course, Jacob. Thank you so much for your submission, my friend. Much love. Always love getting yours in. Always love getting yours in, my friend. Well done. Let's see here. Already chat. So, you guys know the drill. We're about halfway through the show. So, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to need everybody to get up, go get some water, go get some snacks, maybe go take a smoke break, maybe go take a bathroom break, anything like that. And when we return, Music Mondays episode 226, we'll dive right back into the rest of our community submissions. So, don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast, episode 226. I almost said the wrong episode. I was like, wait, what episode is it? Oh shit. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. All right. So, let's see. We left off with the homie Jacob Tell. Up next is the homie Marco Pernice, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, has submitted Alien. Let's pop it open in a new tab. Hold on here. Let's give it a quick pause. Let's go see what Marco's got for us this week, my friends. Alright, so got a little credits and description. This dropped in 2021. I'm down. Let's get into it. Marco Pernice, Alien. Switch up. Well done. Well done. That was quite the track. But I do see the alien vibe, honestly. Like, and even during the switch up, it still kept that like almost like bass like almost alien feel to it for some reason. You know what I mean? But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're talking about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. Actually, scratch that. We're talking about two things because obviously no vocals. There were some spoken word vocals towards the end, but mostly no vocals. So we're talking about the instrumental and we're talking about the overall theme of Alien. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix actually really solid. Even with the switch up, I still think it was like very much on point. Usually Marco does have a really consistent mix regardless, so I wasn't too shocked, but something you always want to point out, right? But yeah, the instrumental mix very much on point. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the structure. I do like to switch up a lot. I wasn't expecting to switch up, but it still kept it consistent. So I'm gonna go with the structure. But I feel like drums are a close second, but I like the structure a lot. So instrumental style, definitely structure. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. the straight up Alien cover. I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? Like totally on brand for this. Then you have Marco Pernice in the top middle, and then Alien in the right side. Solid, simple, straight to the point though, especially for something called Alien, right? And it did feel like an Alien track. I feel like Marco did a good job kind of naming this and like picking out the vibe, right? Because even when it switched up, it still kept that Cosmo space-like kind of vibe to it. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Marco Pernice. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel. They are 10 subs away from 40 over there on their topic. And make sure you go follow Marco on Twitter. They're only a few followers away from 1.5K on the Bird apps. Make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends. Let's see here. So, up next, we have the homie Ghost. Ghost, a multi-genre talented producer, has submitted a unreleased instrumental. I am down. I am down for the cause because Ghost's submissions recently have been actually fucking nuts. Let's pop this open over in Dropbox and let's see what we got here. Go check out Dropbox and see what's cracking. Alright, we popped it open. Let's see here. Unreleased Ghost, 172 BPM. GoPro Dreamer with tag. Let's get it. This is one of my favorites, says Ghost. Okay, one of the favorites, you say. Alright, bet. Let's get into it.
Dreamer. Ghost.
Tags are hard. Dreamer. Ghost. Whoa. Drums are crazy. Love the structure. Love the structure. Let that melody come through for a little bit. I like that. So classic with it. I agree. Amoka. The vocal sample's great too. Great structure. Great fucking structure. Okay. What a great outro. Super low fade out too? Yeah. Just a calm vibe, right? Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to talk about here. I love the drums. I love the sound selection. Like I said, I feel like the structure is like really, really fucking well put together. And like even like the vocal sample isn't like overused, right? So like when you do pick it out in the song, it's like every so often, which again makes it a treat, you know? Um Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So obviously no vocals. So we're gonna talk about two things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this collab here. So let's talk instrumental mix. Fantastic. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. 808 was great. All the drums were great. Sound selection was awesome. I didn't feel like anything was clashing. I mean, anything from Ghost has a 99% chance of the mix being fucking solid. But you know, something you always want to point out here for anybody new. But instrumental mix very much on point. Not really a surprise. Very sharp. Instrumental shining star though. See, this one's gonna be tough because look, I like the structure a lot. I feel like the drums were great, especially the percussion. The 808 was awesome. Damn, I kind of do want to say the structure though. And then the vocal sample on top of that was like really solid too. Drums are structure. I mean, shit, I do like the drums though. I do like the drums. Let's go. Let's go structure. Let's go structure. Just because, you know, from start to finish, it's such a ride and it's very consistent, but it doesn't stay like too repetitive whatsoever. I feel like this is like the perfect structure. So yeah, let's go structure on this. The instrumental solid. Let's talk theme. Obviously some unreleased Ghost here, but this one, man, I agree. A very calm, but like still it knocks. You know what I mean? Like I love beats like this and instrumentals that have like a little bit of like a flavor, like emotion to them, right? Very chill, but also the drums make this knock still. You know what I mean? So it comes through as a very solid listen, you know? Especially if you're just like sitting there vibing Sunday night, you're on the phone, it's dark, this is just like blasting in the background, bro. That's definitely like one of those chill nights for sure. And plus I can see somebody absolutely destroying this. But well done, my friend. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Thank you so much for this submission. Much love. And of course, make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter. They are only 3 followers away from 530, so make sure you go show them some love over there, the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. And per usual, a huge shout out to everybody that already has. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Loop from Dreamer was sick. Yeah, it was so sick. Hasn't been placed yet. Damn, I'm still waiting for him to get placed. Yeah, somebody's gonna jump on that and fucking kill it. For sure. Somebody's definitely gonna jump on that and fucking kill it. 100%. No question. Literally no question. Well done, my friend. Well done. Let's see here. So, all right, we left off with the homie Ghost. Up next is the homie Sean G on the track. Now, we got our first time submission from homie Sean G last week, and it was very impressive. So I'm definitely excited to see what we have here. And again, Sean G, a very talented hip-hop artist, has submitted Tap In. Let's see what we got here. Give it a quick pause. That Denzel Washington picture always makes me laugh. That is a fucking legendary picture, bro. That is such a cool picture. Holy shit. Top 3 actors for me, for sure. Alright. Let's see. Well, let's get into it. I'm down 9 days ago, so super, super new. This only came out on the 10th. Let's get into it. Sean G, tap in. Prod Baby J, let's go.
Probably put some evil shit here or something. I don't even know.
Some evil shit.
Like some hate and full shit or some shit. I don't even know. Put some fucking camera in this bitch. I don't know. Feeling like Rico today.
Why the fuck you tryna chill when we ain't up now? Niggas really think that shit sweet when you uptown. Niggas wanna try you every week like a free trial. You hit him with that dog, keep it quiet, muzzle up now. Bad bitch, wanna set me up while we in traffic with it. Never knew that she would come in clutch with the stick shift. Move quick, baby, out of light, I'm finna bust quick. Start me out, then you start me up and keep it pushing. Like my head between them thighs, I be using them for cushions. She been all up in my mental, giving brain like institutions. She yelling, fuck me. Okay then, she feeling salty, cause I don't play that. She said she finna move on, I told her get to steppin'. Looking at me like I'm acting, baby girl, my name is Stephen. I'm a king when it comes down to the nonchalant shit. I know that they hate it when I'm doing my shit. Why the fuck you jealous, why the fuck you hating? You can get it too, you just gotta tap in. You can get it too, you just gotta tap in.
It's gotta be tough, I agree.
You can get it too, you just gotta tap in. Bounce with it, let me bounce in it for a second. Bustin' it, I won't bust in it, man, I'm playing her. She just want a nigga who gon' fuck the sexy red, huh? Shorty really love the way a nigga swing his dreads, huh? Sliding through the town just to see you in my bed, huh? Shawty really hungry like she didn't eat me up, huh? Feeling like I'm Bernie, used the Mac as a left track. They think a nigga joker with the way we finna bomb the track. Boom, 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 like you waking up in Iraq. Sometimes I be feeling like a killer when they run it back.
Holy fuck.
Niggas really take your love for granted when there's benefits. I've been by my shit all on my own since I was a kid. Started spinning blocks over ego and some prideful shit. Beat a nigga like he was a slave and still ain't feel shit. Hold up,
What
nigga,
the fuck?
hold up. Where you think you going? Run up, we gon' run up. Then they get to shooting. Boom, boom, boom. Niggas ducking, running from the shooters. Niggas hooping when they get to shooting, they be hitting threes. If I need it done, I hit up stuff, ain't talking Curry. Off the backboard, how we bouncing out up in the V. Skirt, skirt. They gon' get the sliding, they gon' get the stepping. My niggas Danny Glover with them lethal weapons. My
What
niggas
the
fired
fuck?
up like they some diesel engines. My niggas up the switches like electricians. My niggas go to war like they want some Chechens. My niggas came for nothing, we came from the trenches. Bitch, we came for nothing. Going half on a gram just to feel something. After school, we roll it up, the bitches tryna come in. Trap house, fuck some bitches, there was no discussion. Nasty, but light it up, I'm tryna fuck again. She told her friends about the dick, they wanna sample it. She getting jealous cause they wanna hop up on my shit. I never understood how hard it is to share my shit. Oh my god. But they be acting like some fans the way they blowing it. And I be acting like I'm slow the way I'm stroking it. She want a baby out of me, I told her jump ship. Titanic shit, sinking it up in the ocean. Speaking of that ocean, I think I need a shower cap. Bitches want me all up in they womb like I came from them. Jody shit, baby boy shit, I ain't into that. Cause if I was Jody, Rodney would've been taking a dirt nap.
What the fuck?
Shit. Man. What the fuck did I just do? I don't know. This shit fire though.
Oh.
Shout out Baby J. He cooked this beat up. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Shit. 2:57. Sunday, May 4th, 2025. You know the motherfucking vibes. Beach.
Well done. This is hard. I agree, chat. I agree. I agree, man. Wow. Holy shit. Sean really 2 for 2 in the last 2 submissions, man. They've been really, really fucking impressive. Like, really impressive. Well done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Tap In. So, instrumental. Shout out Baby J, man, because that was, wow, that was fantastic. But starting off with the mix, again, no gripes at all. Nothing like super clashy to overbearing. I think Sean sounds great on it. Nothing's really like getting in the way of each other. Nothing's like too overbearing or anything like that. Levels were solid. Drums cut through nicely. I mean, no gripes on this instrumental at all. I mean, I totally agree with Sean that Baby killed this, you know? So, instrumental mix, definitely on point. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I do like the melody, but the drums are just insane. The 808 in specific is just, wow. So yeah, let's go drums on this one. Definitely. Instrumental solid. Definitely the drums. Let's talk theme. Or no, let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, fantastic. Sean has a really solid, like, natural voice, you know what I mean? So you don't want to go too crazy with mixing unless, you know, you really wanted to, like, dive into, like, a different style or something like that. But this is one where I wouldn't change a thing. Levels are solid. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Drums cut through nicely, like I said. I mean, you know, how could you have a gripe with that, you know? And they're not too loud and they're not too low. Like I said, the levels are, like, very on point. So no gripes with the vocals at all. Vocal Shining Star. Probably the writing. I mean, flow and cadence and delivery was up there. I feel like Sean was really sliding on this, but I'm gonna go writing and lyrics. Writing and lyrics, just because, you know, you were looking out for the next punchline, for the next, like, comparison, for the next analogy. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of those tracks where you're just waiting for something crazy to pop out. So I'm gonna go writing and lyrics on this one, for sure. Instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid. Writing and lyrics for sure. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. This is a picture I knew from fucking just instantly, bro. But I love this cover, man. Like, just like throw a little purple filter on it, and then you got fucking the parental advisory bottom mid. One of those covers where it's like, if you didn't really want to go too crazy with art, you could totally take a picture that you really like and just like kind of deep fry it a little bit, make it your own. And that's what Sean did here. But aesthetics absolutely on point. Overall theme, tap in. I wouldn't dig for like a super like meaningful theme here. This is one of those tracks where you really got to appreciate the writing and lyrics, because like some of the bars and punchlines were just so creative, and this is one of those tracks again where you can just appreciate Sean and their artistry on this one. Definitely one you enjoy and come back to for the writing and lyrics, 100%. So well done, my friend, well done. Huge shout out to the homie Sean G. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Sean on SoundCloud. They're only 5 followers away from 480. Make sure you go show him some love. Of course, make sure you go follow Sean on Twitter. They're only 2 followers away from 480, so make sure you go show him some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 sub-roonies. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alright, my friends, let's get into it. So, up next, we got the homie A Groovy Mind, a very talented multi-genre producer. A Groovy Mind has came through with Gung Ho, brand new. I got you, A Groovy Mind. Down. Let's pop it open, new tab. Let's see what we got here. This cover actually is crazy because it's got AGM on the back of one of their helmets. That's sick. And then Gung Ho, top right. We love that. All right, I'm down 14 days ago. Groovy Mind, Gung Ho. shit. Very like military kind of feel almost, but like futuristic military. You know, like Space Marine type shit. Wow, well done. Nice little fade out as well. Excellent. Love that. Shout out to Groovy Mind, man. All right, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, obviously no vocals. We're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about the instrumental, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of Gung Ho. So, let's talk instrumental. A very sharp and clean mix, to be honest with you, especially with everything going on. I don't really have any gripes with it at all. Nothing like super clashy, overbearing, nothing that I would like ultimately change on this. I don't think anything's really like messing with each other or getting in the way. Levels were good. Not too loud, not too low. I mean, yeah, really no gripes for this one, to be honest. Usually a Groovy Mind has a pretty solid mix anyway, so wasn't really like super shocked, but definitely something you always want to point out. Okay. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental Shining Star. I like the drums. Drums are definitely up there. Melody definitely up there. Structure definitely up there. Some of the smaller effects were really well utilized as well. Let's go drums on this one. I feel like drums and a lot of the perks and the smaller effects were like a big deal on this for sure. So let's go drums. Instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Like I said at the start, I really like this cover. Very simple but effective, right? And then you know, kind of had the Gung Ho in the top right, and then the AGM on the back of the helmet is like a really good kicker there. I always thought that was great. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme for Gung Ho, I mean, it definitely has that Gung Ho military kind of feel to it, but it's a little bit more futuristic than that. Like I said, more like a Space Marine almost, especially with the cover, right? So I'm thinking like Planet of the Apes. I'm thinking Aliens versus Predator, like those kind of Marines. You know what I mean? Like that area of military. So I feel like AGM did a really good job, kind of describing that futuristic military kind of feel. You know, so well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to A Groovy Mind. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go follow Groovy Mind on SoundCloud. They're only 5 followers away from 80. And of course, make sure you go follow Groovy Mind on Twitter. They are only 9 followers away from 920. Make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. So we upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists some love, baby. Let's get it. All right, my friends, let's continue on here. So we left off with the homie of Groovy Mind. Up next is Offspring Mysterious. Offspring, a multi-talented artist, creative producer, designer, engineer, editor, literally all the above, has submitted another YouTube upload, and they submitted Inner Demon. I'm down. Let's get into it. All right, give it a quick pause, a Rooney here. We'll go full volume. Let's go 720. All right, let's get into it. Offspring Mysterious, Inner Demon. Let's go. Last few uploads a bit crazy. Shit. Shit. It's like, wait, what the fuck? In with the baddies, yo. He's like, my bad. Wait, that was gold. That was gold. We didn't see nothing. Oh shit. It was just lurking. Oh, he's gonna eat that. He's gonna eat that all day. Or just dodge it. No way. No way. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Shit. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I'm just scratching the surface.
Offspring classic right here. Damn. I love that cover. What? Or is this even... Oh, uh-oh. Are they about to throw down? Yep. This is a great set team. Sick ass background, I agree. I agree. My favorite one so far. Damn. They beat each other's ass. Good. Peace out. Like, what the fuck? Literally, he's like, what? Well done. Well done. That was one of my favorites in a while. Well fucking done. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Offspring's really opened the game up with everything, you know, like between song choices, editing, the photos, the sets, the kind of like storylines, you know, the writing in general. I mean, shit. And this one actually dropped 10 days ago, and it has almost 100 views. Well fucking done. Well fucking done. Good for you, Offspring. All right, let's talk about it. So I think Shining Star here for Inner Demon is probably the story. The story, I think. Yeah, probably the writing and story. I mean, the editing was very much up to par. Very much sick Offspring editing. Stop motion was great. I just think the story as a whole, right now, for where Walking Onslaughts is great. It's really, really great. So, Shining Star, definitely a story, and definitely the writing, for sure. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Offspring of Sirius. Much, much love. Make sure that you go sub to their YouTube channel. They're only 3 subs away from 240, so make sure you go show them some love. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring of Sirius on Twitter. They're only 3 followers away from 810, so make sure you go show them some love there on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. Upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Alrighty, my friends. So we left off with the homie Offspring of Sirius. Up next is the homie Fonzie, a very, very talented hip-hop artist. This came through with another track. It's been a couple weeks since we heard from Fonzie, man. So I'm down. I'm chilling. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got here. Just a couple thoughts. Fonzie, Fidel Castro, KRB, UK. Wow. This is off of The Journey, so it looks like a big compilation album of a bunch of artists. Okay, I see. I see the vibe. 23 tracks as well. Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, let's see. So we got just a couple thoughts. And on 23 tracks, this is track... Shit, what track is it? Oh, track 13. Okay. About like halfway through the project, right? All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Fonzie, just a couple thoughts. Let's go.
Yo, what do you do it for? Is it just a hobby? Do you love the sport? If you seen a bit of money, would it push you more? Not on personal, it's just a couple thoughts. Who do you do it for? Is it just a hobby? Do you love to talk? Why's the real reason you shut the door? No, it's not on personal, it's just a couple thoughts. To leave a legacy, that was number one. But before all of that, it was a bit of fun. So what changed me? Loss. After all of that, nah, I weren't the same me. The man who I saw looks the same, but the thoughts really ain't me. It's crazy how quick you can change, G, without realizing. One day you're Leonidas feeling righteous, and another day you're discreetly crying. Sleepless nights, so you see me writing. Got my second win, you don't need to chime in. I play to win, and I'm fitting right in. I aim for bins, watch and see it flying. Rich as the tone, you can see in my skin. Health is wealth, but they keep denying. Skills I've honed, it can be frightening. So many options, I can keep deciding. What do you do it for? Is it just a hobby? Do you love the sport? If you seen a bit of money, would it push you more? Not on personal, it's just a couple thoughts.
Banger.
Who do you do it for? Is it just a hobby? Do you love to talk? Why's the real reason you shut the door? No, it's not on personal, it's just a couple thoughts.
I do it for the kids, I do it for the sport. Here to build a legacy, what the for? Trying to make the most of life cause it's too short. Bad energy, I can't let it change my course. Gotta keep the family safe through these cold wars. Times is hard but you always stay in focus. I don't believe off what I see cause it's bogus. When you're doing good that act like they never noticed. My daughter's sitting right there. Life ain't fear, but from a very young age, I told her that they'll be there. Every day, time is precious, yeah, I see it's rare. So I hold in every moment, and I hold it there. Nothing like progress, knowledge, help, and no stress. Learning new things I never knew, not feeling hopeless. One day the grandkids will listen to these rhymes I've written, knowing that I really loved them way before there was it. Yeah, what do you do it for? Is it just a hobby? Do you love the sport? What's the real reason you shut the door? Not on personal, it's just a couple thoughts.
Hook is great.
Who do you do it for? Is it just a hobby? Do you love to talk? What's the real reason you shut the door? Not on personal, it's just a couple thoughts. Yeah, what do you do it for? Yeah, funds, respect, G. Nice one linking up every time.
That was crazy. That was fucking crazy. Wow, wow, wow. Well done. Dope prod, cool introspective joint. I agree on Muka. I agree, my friend. I fucking agree. All right. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So, we're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Just a Couple Thoughts. So, let's talk instrumental. Much like Onwuka said in the chat, I do like the production on this a lot. Very classic, very like raw, boom bap, hip hop kind of feel, but obviously very modern, right? So, instrumental choice, very solid. Instrumental mix is actually fantastic. Nothing like super clashy to varying. The vocal samples was pretty well utilized. Drums were solid. Sound selection's great. I think Fonzie sounds really solid on this. Nothing I would like ultimately change as far as the instrumental goes, to be honest with you. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, just might be the vocal sample. I feel like the vocal sample felt like a good soul kind of vibe, you know. But I do like the drums a lot as well. But let's go with the vocal sample. I feel like it was well utilized for sure. So instrumental solid. Fuck vocals. Vocal mix on point. The vocals are fucking on point. And you know, again, Fonzie's one of those artists that has a very consistent vocal mix. So I wasn't completely shocked or anything like that. But again, something I always want to point out for anybody new here. But that is a very sharp mix. Nothing I would ultimately change on that. Nothing super clashy to overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Nothing that, again, really stuck out that far, you know. So, vocal mix, very solid. Vocal Shining Star, gotta be the hook. The hook's catchy, sticks in your head, and it's a very powerful statement, you know? It's a very powerful line, so let's go with the hook. Let's go with the hook. Even though writing in general was very solid, but let's go with the hook. So instrumental solid, definitely the vocal sample. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, the journey. I mean, again, great simple IRL cover. I mean, you take some of these like IRL photos and you can kind of like really make some interesting, simple but aesthetically pleasing kind of covers on them. You know, I mean, you got Fidel Castro and KRB at the top, right and left, and then the journey bottom middle, and a great like aesthetic photo. You know what I mean? So you really wanted to just like chill out on cover art a bit and you know, not go too crazy with it. This is definitely the way to go, for sure. But overall theme, just a couple thoughts. I would hard agree that Fonzie is challenging a lot of people's commitment to music and art, right? And you know, what do you do it for, kind of thing. And like I feel like you did a good job with it, you know, because some people really don't ask themselves that. You know, it kind of reminds me of the question that I always ask in interviews. Is like, what is you like your ultimate goal out of music? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing this for? Who do you do this for? You know, and Fonzie's one of those artists that was questioning it here, and I feel like that's a great concept, you know, a really, really great concept. And the hook really, like, seals the deal on it, you know, so well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Fonzie. Make sure you go follow them and Fidel and KRB on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Fonzie on Twitter. They're only 4 followers away from 930. So make sure you go show them some love on Deep Bird at my friends. And of course, we are featuring today's episode, and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's go. Up next would be the homie Jordan, but Jordan is a Music Mondays Patreon, so we've already reacted to Jordan way earlier in the show, so make sure you go check out the beginning of episode 226 and go show Jordan some love, my friend. Up next is the homie Onwuka. Now, Onwuka, a very, very talented hip-hop artist. has submitted When I Stroll. And actually, me and Onwuka just sat down for an interview recently, so make sure you go check out that interview on allmusicmondays.com for a more interesting conversation with Onwuka. So, let's see here. Here's When I Stroll. Produced by the homie and mixed that. Okay, disregard the cover. That's from Flabbergasted, but same concept. Made this after hearing a cliche, a retro yet play anthem all about Mackin and its story within. I'm down. I always enjoy Onwuka's captions, man. Breaks the track down a little bit before we get into it, you know? Oh, and the lyrics are time-stamped? You never see artists timestamp lyrics. You never see artists do that. Wow. Wow. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Onwuka, When I Stroll. Let's go. Put to Music Mondays. Let's get it, baby.
You know, it don't matter where I go, I always hear this saying. It's one of those lame and non-players things I ever heard. You know, I'm talking about, trying to make a song about it. You know what I'm saying? Quan Lee
Real.
Beats and Onwuka. Oh, when I stroll, just so you know. It don't matter where that I go. They'll say there's no good women anymore. Whales in, how come they looking so good? When I stroll, don't matter where that I go. They'll say there's no good women anymore. Whales in, how come they looking so good? When I stroll, yeah, you know when I stroll, I meet a broad I don't even know. She is so nice to me. Let me crash the whole evening at her abode.
Real.
Slice of that mask 'cause I'm beaming. I glance, she took her top off, that pair is gleaming. Despair brings despair when you no longer see them on the weekend. So a player was gonna try to make this frequent. With this frequency that I am feeling, the sequence is so thrilling. Wet and tight like some sea nets next to where the water's chilling. While the wind breeze blows. Now back to yummy, they look when I stroll. They ain't looking warm and fluffy. I want it up in my face just like it's in a row.
It's in a row.
Don't lose control. But even when I scroll on Insta, Snap, or a TikTok, a baddies glimmer with class, Efred hotter to the pinnacle. You can find a perky, preppy sister, maybe even a thick goth, I insist, bro. I see them, oh yeah, molded a sin.
Holy shit.
So you know, when I stroll, don't matter where that I go. They'll say there's no good women anymore. Whales in, how come they looking so good? When I stroll, don't matter where that I go. They say there's no good women anymore. Whales in, how come they looking so good? When I stroll.
So real. That's so real. Smack this chick, then I constantly hear people say that good women cliche, huh? So yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. Like, that's the thing with that topic. I mean, it's so dumb to say like there aren't any good guys or there aren't any good girls. It's like we all know that's cap, man. Anybody who says that's just butthurt, you know? For sure. Well done. Well fucking done. All right, let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of When I Stroll. So, instrumental is a very, very Onwuka kind of instrumental for sure. Very chill, very laid back, almost somewhat of like a beach vibe, you know what I mean? It definitely has that summer vibe for sure. For sure. Instrumental mix, actually really solid. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, nothing really getting in the way of each other. Sound selection's good, drums are good, melody's great. Onwuka sounds great on it, drums cut through nicely. Nothing that like really stuck out to me as off-putting as far as the instrumental goes. Instrumental mix definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the melody. I feel like the melody gave a really good summer like stroll vibe, you know, and that's exactly what Onwuka was going for here. So go with the melody on this one for sure. I'm definitely gonna go with the melody. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is actually really interesting. It's just a slightly different vocal mix than what we usually get from Onwuka. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I just feel like it's very interesting for this track, and it's like, oh, a little bit of like mixing sauce going on here with the homies Altar. So I was like, shit, okay. And I do like these vocals a lot. I like when artists kind of branch out and kind of expand on the mix, you know, for certain songs or themes or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, but the vocal mix here was solid for me. I like the layers. I like the levels. Nothing really that I would ultimately change on the vocal mix at all, because again, drums cut through nicely. Onwuka isn't too loud or too low. I feel like it's a good middle ground for sure. Vocal shining star. I kind of want to say the hook, but the writing in general was really solid. But the hook though, shit. Let's go writing. Let's go writing, because like Onwuka said, it is like a storytelling kind of track for sure. Yeah, let's go writing. Let's go writing 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics, we've already seen this aesthetic, but Onwuka mentioned in the caption, in chat actually, that this is already a used cover. It's just like one of those temp covers. You know what I mean? So, but we have reacted to this one though. I think we reacted to it on Spotify or something like that. But regardless, this one here perfectly sums up this song unintentionally. You know what I mean? Unintentionally. And it's literally Onwuka walking with a baddie, and this regular guy back here is like, what the fuck? How? And it's literally what the song is about. You know what I mean? Literally what the song is about. So coincidentally, I do feel like the cover matched anyway. And that is one that I like a lot. And Onwuka always has this great like cartoony kind of flavor to their covers. So I definitely like this one for sure. So aesthetics absolutely on point, unintentionally. Overall theme, when I stroll, I mean, made this after hearing a cliche, a retro yet play anthem all about Mac and its story within. I mean, Onwuka really breaks it down for us, like, pretty well right there. But, I mean, I do agree with, like, the cliche of, like, there's no good women and there's no good guys or anything like that, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's so dead, and it's so, like, not true, you know what I mean? Like, everybody thinks that after, like, a heartbreak or, like, a bad situation or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't chalk up one experience, right, to, like, everybody in the world. Like, bro, there's, like, a bajillion people in the world. Like, you can't just assume that everybody acts the same way because of one situation. You know what I mean? And both guys and girls do it all the time. All the time. So it is crazy. It is definitely crazy. And I felt like that was, like, a good way to go about it. You know what I mean? Really, really good way to go about it. But, shits. Wow. Well done, my friend. Well done. That's a classic right there. That's a fucking classic right there. But huge shout out to Onwuka. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, just like we just did, because now, just like we just did again. But now, Onwuka's only 2 followers away from 70. So make sure you go show them some love on the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow Onwuka on Twitter. They're only 10 followers away from 730. So make sure you go show them some love there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, man. Glad you got the sentiment with it. Positive play track, the hope cats can vibe to. I agree. I mean, I think it's very positive. You know what I mean? And it's like a good way to look at things, if I'm being honest with you, you know, because way too many people have like a miserable outlook on that. So it's good that you actually got that out there in like a real like positive way. You know what I mean? I felt like shit like that's like super important. I agree. Well done, my friend. Well done. All right, so let's see here. Last but definitely not least is the homie Laveries. Now, Laveries is a very talented hip-hop artist. Is hot off the heels of Recession Rap and Recession Proof. And they've been dropping lyric videos like fucking crazy. And this week they submitted Beethoven, Walt White, and Olivia Rodrigo official lyric videos. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, but what are the artists that dropped a visual per week for 8 weeks straight? Not many, my friend. Not many. Not fucking many. I'm excited for this one, man, because this is like a 3-for-1 here. This is like a 3-for-1. I'm down. All right, let's pop it open, new tab. Full volume. 720. This is the best 3-track run off the album, in my opinion. Okay, love that. Love that. I hear you. Got a little love in the comments. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. We got Beethoven up first. We got Walt White, and then we got Olivia Rodrigo. Okay, so obviously we're gonna have to break down the lyric videos for all of these, right? So, because we've already broken down the tracks themselves, so we're gonna be paying attention here to specifically the lyric videos. Let's get into it. Laverius and Ghosts, Beethoven, Walt White, Olivia Rodrigo official music video. Let's go. Beethoven in the background is a great play.
Took a blinker off this pen, I let the heat commence. I'm pouring down the whole damn pint, no, I ain't sipping shit. She said she wanna lick my dick, she want more than a tip. If she give me that good service, then she getting a big tip, yeah. Bitch, I'm way too fucking drunk right now, no, I can't drop a shit. If you ain't talking about money, then no, I ain't hearing shit. Hell no, I ain't hearing shit. You could call me Beethoven, yeah, my flight just got delayed, so now I gotta lay over. She want me to bend over, so lil' shorty coming over. She get picked up in a Uber, she can't get inside my Rover. She coming over just to suck. I might put a hit on Elon, then go cop a cyber truck. This bitch told me that she fun and that she wanna take my nut. Super slut, she wanna fuck, she let me put it in her, She let me put it in her butt. How the fuck you so damn thick, but you can't take more than an inch? She said I got a thick dick. Hey, yeah, bitch, I'm proud of it. She ain't never had nothing like this. She ain't never had nothing like this. I just took a blinker off this pen. I let the heat commence. I'm pouring down the whole damn pint. No, I ain't sipping shit. She said she wanna lick my dick. She want more than a tip. If she give me that good service, then she getting a big tip. Yeah. Bitch, I'm way too fucking drunk right now. No, I can't drop a shit. If you ain't talking about money, then no, I ain't hearing shit. Me what I cook me al pastor. Baby, dame más sabor. She said she want me on the tongue. You know I'm gon' get it done. I got a spicy white bitch, pero quiero más calor. Rico antes de 21. Yeah, that's rich by 21. It's about 2 weeks from my 20th. They gon' tell me cumpleaños. I'ma stay on this grind porque quiero bolsas largos. You know good as I know. Bitch, I'm going far, ho. Rich by 21, then I'm 30 under 30. Solo 20 ain't me peak. Tell that little hoe that I'm worthy. Be so fucking crazy that it must be ghost produced.
Oh,
so
shit.
I gotta hop up in that stew to see what I can do to it. Already killed a few, these beats, no mercy on them, send me more. Yeah, you know they head drop soon, they come through that door. I don't even need no promo, this shit gon' sell itself. Taylor Swift,
The projector is such a good play.
Where the competition, I don't see nobody else. It's just me and my bitch, and she taking off my belt. Ooh, yeah, you once had it poppin', but you fell through. I done planned this for years, this shit fell proof. Once I take a shot that hit something, I ain't letting up. Won't be no one-hit wonder, you listening every month. Yeah, they spinning on my records like it's Twisters, huh? I'm dressing way too fresh inside my city, yeah. I'm cooking way too fresh inside that kitchen, yeah. They telling me y'all nasty, but I'm already on. Yeah, whoa, they just don't know it yet. You can put me to that test. You should probably place your bets, cause I bet I'ma pass that test. Yeah, with flying colors. Can't give a bad bitch my number. I be hot by the end of the summer. Ooh, like Ice Spice, my bitch looks so nice. She gon' put them pearly whites on my Eiffel Tower. She gon' serve me for hours. It's like she got superpowers. She must be off for that powder. I think I might get her flowers. She deserve that.
Wow. Holy shit.
Damn, that shit was hard.
My bitch kinda rock, kinda pop. Olivia Rodrigo, she gon' give me top inside a job. Yeah, that's my little freako. She gon' say I'm shallow, but she'll stick it up and give me deep throat. Want me to herself, but I gotta do these shows. Ayy, my bitch kinda rock, kinda pop. Olivia Rodrigo, she gon' give me top inside a drive. Yeah, that's my little freako. She gon' say I'm shallow, but she'll stick it up and give me deep throat. Want me to herself, but I gotta do these shows. Ayy, vampire bitch, and she let us suck the dick. Put it in the gut, she the one, let's make a flick. That's my little shit, that's the one I like to kick it with. Might bring her to the States and make them American, bitch. When you got them lacy panties on, I wanna take them off. Don't bother making a bed, you know you just gon' take them sheets off. I'm so obsessed with you cause you let me hit it raw. You my favorite crime, man, I don't get fucked by laws. My bitch kinda rock, kinda pop. Olivia Rodrigo, she gon' give me top inside a drive. Yeah, that's my little freako. She gon' say I'm shallow, but she'll stick it up and give me deep throat. Want me to herself, but I gotta do these shows. Ayy, my bitch kinda rock,
Wow. I feel like mic switching was a good play too.
The U.S. economy right now is in a recession.
Recession rap.
Recession rap. I miss it. I need it. Their
Fire.
artist is not reflective of the times that we're living in.
Fire. That was so sick. Might be one of LaVerry's best to date. And it actually wasn't even a lyric video. There were some lyrics in there, but this is the official music video for 3 tracks. And I feel like that was such a good play, man. That was such a good play. So obviously we've reacted to Beethoven, Walt White, and Olivia Rodrigo here on the show. So definitely check out some earlier episodes for those tracks breakdowns. But what we're going to be talking about today is the official music video. Wow, so much I like about this though. First off, the concept. Because you don't see many people shoot music videos for 2 songs, let alone 3, you know? But it's not like LaVerry's kind of used the same concept for each of them, you know? And that takes me to like the centerpiece of this whole music video is the projector. The projector was such a good play. And switching the images in the background from Beethoven to Breaking Bad to Olivia Rodrigo, that was like so unique, but also like a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So it was one of the things that I really, really enjoyed about this, for sure. 3 name tracks, also the best 3-track run on the album. I agree. I definitely agree. And we got LaVerry's in chat. Let's get it, baby. Hope you're well. Happy Monday. But yeah, the projector was so key here. And then like the smaller things that you would kind of notice, like the mic switching or, you know, the outfit switching as well. I mean, there's a couple things here that really, really went crazy. But Beethoven was solid, and then we switch over to Walt White, and then we have a fit change, and then we have Breaking Bad in the background, and a little bit more of like an aggressive kind of style of editing, which I thought was great. And then you move over to Olivia Rodrigo, and it's a little bit more of like authentic almost, you know what I mean? Very like in your face, very authentic, very like simple but very effective as well. You know, like the strobe there, I thought that was a great play too. You know what I mean? I think, you know, throughout the whole music video, I think the shining star's got to be the editing. Whoever edited this did a really good job. Shout out Ahmed, edited by the homie Ahmed. And we got the timestamps in description. Stream the album here. Subscribe and lock in. You know the drill, man. Love that description though. It's a really, really great description. And yeah, like LaVerry's mentioned in chat, this is the best 3-track run off the album in my opinion. I would probably agree. I'd probably have to listen to it back again, but I kind of agree, to be honest with you. Definitely, because I remember Walt White and Olivia Rodrigo like really standing out, and then Beethoven was just like a no-brainer, like super banger. But yeah, so editing is huge here, man. I feel like the editing is just like super, super on point. Like the editor like took like so much footage and made it so tangible, you know what I mean? Like very simple shots, but it transitions and it cuts at the exact moment, right? Like no clip lingers too long in this, you know? So that's how you know you had like an A1 editor on this. There's not one clip in here is like a little bit overdone or anything like that. And even the effects as well, the effects aren't overdone, which again I thought was a really good thing, you know, because sometimes when you go overboard with effects and shit like that, it could be a little bit much, you know what I mean? But I feel like this hit the nose for sure, like absolutely no question. Shining star here definitely has to be the editing, but also LaVerry's footage here was probably very easy to work with, you know, because there's so much footage here that I'm sure the editor kind of sifted through and was probably like, oh shit, you know. So, but yeah, the transitions, the lyrics, filters. Yeah, let's go with the editing, man. The editing was very, very impressive here on this. Very impressive. Wow, man. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie LaVerry's. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go sub to LaVerry's YouTube channel. They've been going crazy recently. They're approaching 1.1K on the tube, so make sure you go show them some love. And of course, make sure you go follow LaVerry's on Twitter. They are only 5 followers away from 140, so make sure you go show them some love there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 sub-roonies. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends. That does it, man. That does it for episode 226. Let's give some shout outs. Let's show some love. Let's talk about what's coming over the course of the next week or so. Let's get into it, my friends. Let's get into it. So, first off, huge shout out to everybody in the motherfucking chat, man. Chat was bumping tonight, and everybody was fucking chilling. So, even if you just lurked and chilled, I appreciate you, man. I fucking appreciate you. First off, huge shout out to the homie Jacob. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to Jordan. Huge shout out to Onwuka. Huge shout out to Laveries at the tail end there. Let's fucking get it, baby. Great show, Z. Thank you so much, Jacob. I appreciate you, homie. Thank you so much for stopping by and tuning in, man. And anybody else who lurked and chilled, man, even if you just weren't in the chat and you were just in the background, had the stream up, tabbed up, whatever, you know we greatly appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Huge shout out to everybody that came through and submitted tonight. So let's talk about that. Huge shout out to the homie Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to Lucha Libro. Huge shout out to Deezit. Huge shout out to Brayden, Most Dope Kimon, I Say, Jacob Tell, Marco Pernice, Ghost, Sean G on the track, A Groovy Mind, Offspring Mysterious, Fonzie, Jordan, Onwuka, and the homie Laveries. Thank you so much for your submissions. You guys are fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons as well. You guys are amazing. Let's see here. Alrighty, my friends. So you guys know the drill. Planning our next summer events and the first event of the year. It's actually going to be something that we haven't done before. So that's something that I've been working with the staff pretty closely and really trying to iron out some details. So again, once I know, you'll be the first to know here on the Music Mondays podcast and of course through announcements, right? So summer event's going to be a big deal, 100%. Outside of that, your regular scheduled monthly and weekly content will stay the same. So you guys know the drill. Articles, podcasts, submissions, the whole nine. So that's going to be staying the same. Per usual, outside of that, submissions open tomorrow for episode 227 of the Music Mondays podcast. So again, if you're watching this live, submissions open on the 20th. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are already available. So make sure you drop your tracks and all that good jazz below. And of course, you can stream all the Music Mondays episodes at anchor.fm/allmusicmondays, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, it is available over there as well. And of course, you can go stream it on YouTube. So definitely go check those out. And of course, make sure you follow Music Mondays on social media at All Music Mondays. We are quite literally everywhere. Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you use social media, we are available. So make sure you follow Music Mondays on your preferred social media and we'll get back to you. Let's hear. What else am I missing? And of course, per usual, I quite literally stream 5-6 days a week. So make sure you come stop by, come watch some videos with the kid. We'll be getting back into gaming here soon. But yeah, make sure you come through and come kick it with the kid. But follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All my socials and all the good jazz is linked down below for me as well. And of course, we'll be live next week for episode 227 of the Music Mondays podcast. And I'll be live tomorrow for a regular scheduled stream. So you guys know the drill. Once again, huge shout out to all of you wonderful, wonderful human beings. Thank you for coming to kick it. Tonight was a fucking fantastic show, so well done. As soon as the stream goes offline, we'll be tweeting the top 3 artists of episode 226, so make sure you go check out our Twitter feed for that. But of course, Benny Boys Om Slays, this is Music Mondays. We'll see you next week for 227, and I'll see you tomorrow for a regular scheduled stream. I love you all. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow and next Monday. Let's get it, baby.